Hello, everybody. It's great to have all of you here. So, as people keep joining, as always, you can share something about your day-to-day. How do you feel? What about your life recently? So, anything that you're willing to share, you're welcome to leave in the comments. So, please do it. Hello. It's nice to have you there. So, yeah, you can tell me how your day was. You can tell me some news about your week, maybe some questions about our webinars or English in general appeared throughout that time. So all of that could be asked. And we are going to start. So first of all, as always, let me introduce the topic. And today we have a pretty active one. So we're going to speak about sports. And also, we will learn some prepositions and phrasal verbs and the ways how they interact together in terms of sport vocabulary. But also, I will leave you some extra resources in order to learn phrasal verbs better and in more details. And the last part of our lesson would be dedicated to reading. So I plan like a significant part of lesson to dedicate to the reading practice. And I hope that would be really helpful. So thank you for asking. I'm also fine today. It's a nice day, I would say. So I think we can get started. And first of all, let's have a look at 3 different pictures. And you try to guess what sports is represented there. So I'm pretty sure you can use a few synonyms and maybe all of them would be right. So feel free to just express your ideas. Number 1, what could it be? Ideas in the comments, please. All right. So any ideas? I'm waiting for your answers. Okay. No idea. Kayaking. I guess you're right. Yeah, that is kayaking. So, yeah, like floating those boats would be called kayaking. Good. Picture number 2. Again, does anybody know? It might be a bit challenging. So, any ideas of picture number 2? Again, in the comments. No, it's not boxing. He has a round object next to his neck. So, any ideas what that is? All right. So, I think I have to tell it. Yeah, so throwing something, we call it shot put in English. So here we don't pronounce clear U or R, it's like shot put there. Okay, yeah, метання ядра would be shot put. Just remember that. Okay, and the last picture, it's some extreme sport. So again, if you have any ideas, feel free to tell about that. So let's all hope that after today's lesson, your vocabulary in sports will be much better. No, it's not a glow. Yeah, it's a put, like ядро, метання ядра. And number 3, again, your ideas. Okay, jumping with the parachute. Well, that would be close, but it's not a parachute exactly. So this sport is called paragliding. And the main idea is that you kind of glide or float through the air for some time. So it's not like jump from the height down below, but it's gliding using the forces of air and like flying over some distances. So that would be paragliding. Close to parachuting, but a bit different. Okay, so now we know that the topic might be pretty challenging for some of you, but that's not the reason to get scared. And it's just like another maybe motivation for you to learn the words. So now, here you can have the rows or the lines of the words, and in each line you have to spot the extra or the odd зайве word. So please try to spot an odd word, зайве слово. If you notice it, that's great, you can write it. If you have time to write why you think so, that would be just perfect. So in the first line, we have tournament, match, trophy, and championship. What would be extra? All words are sports related, but clearly one of them is not that synonymic. Okay, so I agree with Dmitro. Yeah, it's a trophy. Why so? Because tournament, змагання, match, like football match, for example, and championship, championat, again, that's a big competition. So tournament, match, and championship are all about taking part in some activity, some competition, while trophy would be the prize, the result you get as a winner. Okay, line number 2, I already can see some answers. So we have trainer, runner-up, coach, and teacher. Okay, so number 2 is runner-up. By the way, what does it mean? Any ideas? You can also write in the comments. Runner-up, the meaning of this word. And meanwhile, I'm waiting for the third word. So we have striker, manager, goalkeeper, and defender. Okay, so your ideas. Number 3, yeah, that's a manager, because all 3 other words are about the members of a team. Typically, even a football team, yeah, like it can have a striker, the person who attacks with the ball, a goalkeeper who protects the gate or the goal, and defender, again, the person who tries not to let the ball hit the goal. Okay, very good. So, end of number 2. Runner-up is typically a team or sometimes a person that takes the second place. So, like, we are the winners and they are the runner-up team. So, runner-up is like the second position. Okay, so then number 4. I already can see different answers. So, yes, that's a captain, because all other 3, like umpire, referee, and judge, are people who meant to watch if the game happens according to the rules. So it's like судья of the game, while captain is a member of one team, so he's not, that neutral there. He's interested in the win, while all 3 others, it's like судья, so neutral person who watches if the rules of the game are kept. Okay, good job. So if you have any other words that cause some questions, feel free to ask in the chat with a question mark. I will try to translate. But honestly, I think for now it's clear. So we keep moving, and now let's speak about some other sport-related words. So here we have lots of words and 3 categories. You have to sort the words whether it's some person who takes part in some sports activities, or it's a place where some sport activities could happen, or it's some part of clothes or equipment, одяг чи спорядження, of people who do sports. So please try to solve the issue. You can write like 1 semicolon, один двокрапочка, and then list all the people here. Then you can write 2, which would be equal places, and list all the places here. And the same do with number 3, which is clothes and equipment. So please just list. Yeah, wrestler is a person. Any more questions? Okay, so let's check the first column. Oh, it's not like that, but okay. So gymnast, wrestler, athlete, and cyclist. Yeah, that would be correct. So as I have it random, I'm waiting for answers in number 2 and 3, and then I show you the rest of it. Okay, so in number 2 we have slope. That is схил, like snow slopes, снігові схили in the mountains. Then we have track, pool, and club, okay? And number 3, bow, basket, goggles, goal, even, pay attention, club, and net. So I have a feeling that I have to translate some of these words. So let's do it. Wrestler is a person who takes part in some martial arts like борец, you know, like those where two people are fighting just with their power, with their muscles. Rower is a person who takes part in rowing, гребля, like гребля на човнах. So the rower is a person there. Athlete. In English, typically we refer to an athlete as a person who does running, yeah? Athlete. And gymnast, I think it's obvious. So slope, as I said before, is схил, usually like snow slopes, ski slopes, лижні схили. Track would be like the road where you can run, or it could be the car track where cars can compete in their speed. Pool, басейн, pitch, поле. Bow, лук, so we have bow and arrows in archery, like лук та стріли. Basket, obviously корзина, especially for basketball. Goggles, окуляри, swimming ones, the ones that you use in the pool в басейні. Club, клюшка, for example, the one that you would use in golf. Goal could be ворота, so it's not only goal, that's also ворота, where you hit the goal. Okay. And net would be сітка. So I think I translate everything. Again, goggles, окуляри, в яких ми плаваємо. Thank you for explaining that. Okay, so we keep moving. I skipped the rover for some reason. Anyway, let's look at the picture here. So what can you see? What can you call this place? Again, your comments, please. Stadium, yeah, for sure, could be. What else can it be? Maybe I have some more words. Could be a pitch, okay. Arena, yeah. So all these words are applicable. You can say it's a football pitch. You can say it's a stadium, clearly. Also, it's a ground and arena. All of them fit this picture. Arena is typically when you have like a lot of places for visitors all around and it's kinda of a circle. Then we can say that it's a stadium as stadion, and yeah, pitch like football pitch. Tribune, yeah, we can see them. So these are like top places. Also, why not? Sports complex. Wow, you are super creative. So that as well. All right, so now you know that there are many words for one place, and now you need to guess which word fits better in the following gaps. So it's also about places. So number 1, shall we meet at the golf something at around 11 o'clock? So what is that? Okay, so you think it's golf field, but it's not. Unfortunately, no. So it's a golf course. Поле для гольфу is not a field. I know that field in English is поле, but when we speak about golf, it's golf course. Surprised? Okay, so, and now let's have a look where we use the other words. So when it's some court, it could be a tennis court, тенісний корт, basketball court, or squash court. So usually court is not super big in its area. And yeah, typically it's filled with whether some specific cover or could be with the grass. So court, typically not a big one for tennis, basketball. So when we say course, it will be for race, for example, для перегонів, and golf. So that's a course. Ground is something very equal to stadium. So we can say football pitch, football stadium, football ground. And field is typically used for baseball or cricket. So those games, they happen on the field. And I can already see the answers for number 2. Many different ideas. So that's a boxing ring, like боксерський ринг. Pay attention that we have both ring and rink, and they are different in English. So we say ring for boxing or wrestling, like бійцівський or боксерський ринг, where two people are fighting. Then we have a rink for ice skating. So we have an ice rink or skating rink, like льодовий каток. Then we have a square when it comes to chess, like we move into squares. And alley would be for bowling. So there is a bowling alley. So I hope you remembered that. Please make sure you check these words one more time because you may have some of them in use of English. And we keep moving. So now you have to choose the correct option out of 2 based on what we've learned. So number 1, you can just write number and then the word. Where exactly is the football pitch or court located? Okay, that's right. That's a football pitch, футбольне поле. Not a field, but could be football ground, remember. Number 2, the 2 snowboarders were racing down the ski something when they saw the injured boy. So, snowboarders ski something. What is that? Ski slope. Yeah, лижний схил. Okay, good. Number 3. The athlete ran around the track or arena so quickly that she broke her own record. Побила свій власний рекорд. So, ran around the track. Track is like the line where you're running fast. Yeah. All right. Then number 4. Figure skating is a sport which involves individual or pair performing on a nice rink with K. Льодовий каток. Yeah. Number 5. I challenge you to a bowling contest. So let's meet at the bowling. It's bowling alley. Yeah, exactly. And number 6, there are 64 squares or fields on a chessboard. Okay, obviously these are squares, like клітинки. Nicely done. So now you learned many new places, I guess. And now let's speak more about people. So who are they? Again, number 1 and number 2 with any of your ideas. Who are they? So the first person is a referee. I think this word is translated the same, yeah? But the second one would be, judge? Yeah, also could be a judge or a referee, depending on the type of sports and the country we are using this word. Number 2, spectators, like глядачі, вболівальники. Also, we can say supporters or fans. But what's the difference between spectators and fans? So, typically, we refer to spectators to all people there. Like всі глядачі, which show interest in some particular sport are spectators, while supporters or fans are typically people who support one exact team there. So they were supporters of two different teams at the stadium. Yeah, so spectators don't have to love the team, exactly, thank you, and they can just love the game itself, like the sport itself. By the way, who is this person? Because untitled is definitely not the name. You can introduce yourself. All right, and now you have to guess even more people in the task. So just write the numbers as you can see them from number 3, all right? So number 3 or 1. The tennis player insisted that the ball wasn't out, but some person didn't agree. So who didn't agree? A or C, judge or referee. So the tennis player, maybe that would give you some idea. No, because it's a bit new word. So it's umpire. That's the person who is a judge or a referee, but in tennis. We call them umpire, like a new word. Not empire, yeah, but umpire. Okay, number 4. Most of somebody at the basketball match had traveled all the way from Madrid to see their team play. Yeah, that would be spectators. So again, let's imagine that we have a football match. Typically, people there are much more interested than, for example, at the concert in the results of the game, yeah? So viewers could be basically anywhere. If it was a webinar without comments, you would be just viewers of it, like глядачи, right? But as you can participate, you are more than that. So spectators, it's like глядачи, but at some game, yeah? So they're interested. Audience is just public, like аудитория, публика, and observers, more like спостерігачі. So spectators fits best here. Number 5. And pay attention to the term away team. It's like гостєва команда. So yeah, the supporters. Here we don't speak about all the people at the stadium, so all the spectators, and part of them are from Madrid, but supporters of some particular team. Okay, and number 6. I'm nervous about the wrestling match because my opponent, yeah, is the current champion. Yeah, so the person you have to compete with, з ким ми маємо змагатися, would be our opponent in the game. Okay, very good. So then, right now, 3 famous sports words. Your task is to guess which one should be there. Let's ski this winter. Yeah, it was super fast, so let's go skiing. Correct. So we typically use go for sports and activities ending in ing, and historically that happened this way, that typically those ing activities are rather outdoor activities or some extreme activities. So all these like paragliding, bungee jumping, surfing, climbing, and with ing. So typically ing, outdoor, active, extreme, that is go. Okay, so number 2, my son can do judo, that is right, and typically we use do for individual sports and martial arts. So here, pay attention. When we have some group activities like aerobics or fitness, we also do them, because even though we can be in between many more people, they are not engaged with us. Like each of us does a separate set of activities individually. That's why aerobics, yoga would be individual sports and we do them. And martial arts or бойові мистецтва or different fighting sports, typically we do them. And yeah, who wants to play soccer with me? So naturally we play some team sports like командні види спорту, games, and especially ball games. But not only. For example, if it's chess, we also play chess. So then, based on what I said, can you group these words into 3 categories? So, just write play, and then list all the words that refer to this category. Do, again, list all of them and go. So you may write them as one message. I will wait. You have something like 1 minute to complete it. Okay, so with go, it's super easy. Everything you can see with ing would be go, that's for sure. Okay, I can see already correct answers with play. And then, what about do? Okay, so then I think it's time to have a look at correct answers. So yeah, we played chess, basketball, table tennis, volleyball. So basically all of them are games. We do athletics because we run on our own, even though we compete. We do gymnastics, archery, like стрільба з лука, archery, and karate. And then we go running, sailing, riding, skiing. Should any of those be translated? Maybe sailing. It's like сплавляння на вітрильниках. The rest should be obvious. But if any questions, again, just write a word and a question mark. We will translate it to you. But so far, it looks good to me. So let's keep moving. And now try to fill in the gaps here. So they, boxing. What do you write with boxing? It's a fighting sport ending ing. So what should we write? It's somewhere in between. No, we don't go boxing. We do boxing. And here we have kind of the exception. So remember that chart. I said that all sports with ing, but typically it's about outdoor sports, active sports, and even extreme sports. And then we have do for fighting and martial arts, like бойові мистецтва. So boxing refers to the second category, as well as some more words. We can do bodybuilding, we do boxing, we do weightlifting. It's like підйом ваги, you know? So even though we have ing there, it's not active extreme sports. It's about individual or martial arts, so we use do there. Okay, and number 2, I already have some answers. So Tiger Woods, he plays golf because he's a sportsman, but we will go golfing at the weekend. So with golf, we can use 2 words. If there is some idea of competition, you can use the verb play because, you know, like people compete, people play, people try to win. But if you just do it for pleasure, as outdoor activity, you say, I go golfing. All right, so now let's do some use of English activity, as you can see in your test tasks, but all the words are on one topic, so you just need to guess the right sport word. Let's go. Number 1. If you enjoy going to the football, something. Football pitch, of course, letter C, well done. To watch your favorite team play, but you're also keen on volleyball. Foot volley might be the perfect sport for you. Okay, number 2. Foot volley is a cross between football and beach volleyball, and it was invented in Brazil some years ago. The players use a football, but they play on a... Number 2, D, they play on the ground. Okay. The aim of the game is to kick the ball over the net using your feet, not your hands, and players must stop the ball from touching the ground at all. Number 3, at all what? At all costs, like за будь-якої ціни. Yeah, at all costs. Initially, there were 5 players on each side, and many of them were professional footballers. Yeah, at all costs is a phrase, like за будь-яку ціну. Okay, so number 3, A, and number 4. Yeah, that's B. So, many of the participants, участників, yeah. Because other words do not match really. Were professional footballers who played football. And then we have international level. So number 5, on international level, at, for, or to international level. Which one looks better or sounds better? You can even pronounce them out loud. So number 5 is C, at international level. When we speak about the level of proficiency, we typically use at, like, oh, I'm not really into football, I can play, but it's only at amateur level, like на аматорському рівні. Or he plays it at professional level, він грає на професійному рівні. Or at the international level, на міжнародному рівні. So yeah, it always refers to the level we say at. Number 6, already some answers. So, if you find the game too something, don't something in the towel. So it's D, too challenging, and then we have something with the towel. Yeah, so challenging, like a bit hard, a bit difficult. So if you find it a bit difficult, don't what? That's a nice idiom in number C. Yeah, so don't throw the towel. We cannot translate it directly, like не кидай полотенце, because it would be something when you try to quit it, when you are disappointed and like, no, so that reaction is like throwing the towel metaphorically. So don't do it, like don't be too rapid in your decision to quit it. So you'll really enjoy it once you get the hang of it. Moreover, professional football players such as Ronaldo and Ronaldinho have something it up. So the last word Ronaldinho gave hard time to me, really. Okay, so number 8. Have taken it up. Yeah, absolutely right. So then, now I would like to pay your attention to 2 phrases here. They are pretty interesting. So first, get the hang of it. What does it mean? Any of your ideas? You'll really enjoy it once you get the hang of it. So what does it mean, get the hang of something? Okay, I think it's time for me to give you a clue. So get the hang of something, it's like to become interested in it. And another phrase here, taken it up or take it up. So what does it mean to take something up? To take up. as we have here this sport, foot volley. So yeah, get the hang of it. It's like to try to become interested, take it up. It's basically to try. To try. Okay, very good. So, and when we look at these phrases, we can clearly see that they are not of the same meaning and just separately, like to take, to, I don't know, lift something up, or what is hang. So all these phrases are called phrasal verbs, yeah? When we have some verb as to take and some preposition as up, we call them phrasal verbs. So, speaking of that, you should be very careful because there is a nuance you should always remember about. So look here and tell me please, do both phrases are phrasal verbs here? He was brought up by his aunt, and they are looking at the stranger. So are two of them phrasal verbs? To bring up and to look at. Yeah, so to bring up, to raise somebody, that's absolutely correct. And that is a phrasal verb. Why so? Yeah, the second is not the phrasal verb, absolutely correct. So as you can see here, bring up, as translated together, like ростити когось, is completely different from the word bring, like приносити, and up, like вгору. So when we translate it directly, приносити вгору, it's not the same as ростити когось, right? So that's why it's a phrasal verb. So its meaning changes from the original translation of two words separately. But as we have the word look at, look, дивитися, at, на. So when we translate it, we have the same translation, like дивитися на. Вони дивляться на незнайомця. So that's why there is a difference between phrasal verbs and just verb plus preposition patterns, where we typically use something specific after some verbs. And to make you be aware of that, right now, we firstly focus on verbs plus prepositions. So here we have direct meaning of the verbs. So in number one, you can already guess that would be look at this girl, подивися на цю дівчинку. But what about number two? Any of your ideas? I'm thinking about, not really. You can say, I am thinking about something, like я розмірковую про щось. But typically, if we try to make some decision, yeah, okay, we can say I'm thinking about taking a language course, or of, also correct. So I'm thinking of, yeah, both of them are possible. I'm thinking of taking a language course. Я подумовую про те, щоб взяти мовні курси. Okay, number three. You're right. I absolutely agree. So I agree. With you. I absolutely agree with you. Я погоджуюся з тобою. So as you can see, all of them are not phrasal verbs because we have direct translation. Okay, so many answers. She doesn't depend on her parents' money. Вона не залежить від, but it's not from. It always depend on. Залежати від чогось. Depend on. Okay, number five. He worries about his future. Він турбується про своє майбутнє. Number six. Thanks for. Дякую за. Thanks for your precious help. And number seven. He's going to apply. Apply. Number seven. Apply for a new job. Like подати заяву на нову роботу. Or претендувати, something like that. Yeah, so here, typically, it's quite easy because you try to translate it similarly to what you would say in Ukrainian. But this word-to-word translation sometimes might be confusing because sometimes, as we depend on, we can make mistakes just because залежить від and від is from, but it's not from in English. So you should be careful. And to be much more confident in it, here I've prepared to you this verb plus preposition dictionary. So you can see the QR code or the link which is pinned in our comments. So if you follow this link, you will see this dictionary. Firstly, do not click there. It's like for phrasal verb dictionary, so there are like two of them, verb plus preposition separately and phrasal verb dictionary separately. So if you work from the phone, you need to click this menu button in the upper right corner. So again, right upper corner menu button if you use mobile phone. Otherwise, you just need to click on the letter of your choice. For example, here, I have chosen letter H, and you can see the complete list of words which start with H. So that's verb plus preposition dictionary, letter H. And you have the same thing in the phrasal verb dictionary, which looks absolutely similarly. Again, the link is pinned. Like you can migrate in between two of them because they are connected with the common link, but you can scan separate QR codes and use both of them. So again, phrasal verb dictionary is one thing, while verb plus preposition dictionary is another thing. But if you click on one, you can easily go to another one. So just to use it, just get acquainted with some of the words there and try to remember the patterns, especially as we have the examples here. So it's not only happened to, but what happened to him? So you can see the pattern, you can see where and how to use these words. So I hope that would be helpful. Try to dedicate some time to it when you have free time. And remember the words. Don't be confused with this SO or ST. It's like someone or something. So help me, help him, help her, meaning some person, with something, like with homework, with the task, with cleaning the house, whatever. So again, SO for the person, ST for something like some object. I hope it would be helpful, and now it's time to move on. So here I've collected phrasal verbs which are particularly related to the topic sports, and your task is to match the phrasal verb and the definition. So let's try with number one, call off. What could it be to call off? Any of your ideas? Okay, so you say number one is C, and that is right. So yeah, call off means скасувати. Number two, count somebody in. It's like, count me in. Yes, that's letter F. You are super fast today. So it's to include. Like, will you play football with us? Yeah, count me in. Like, please add me to the team. Okay, number three, go in for. I'm pretty sure you met it somewhere in your school books, maybe. So typically we say go in for. No, you haven't. Okay. So that's B. Go in for sports, like take part in some competitions. So you can say take part or go in for something. Like go in for sports, go in for competition, whatever. Okay. Then number four, hold out. Hold out. What could it be? Again, any letters? Hold out. So that's H, last, in the meaning of тривати or пережити or something like that. Okay, number 5. Knockout. What would be knockout? I think it's easy because we have knockouts, for example, in boxing. Postpone, it's відкласти. So, for example, I decided to postpone my preparation to May. Відкласти підготовку на травень, but it's not a good idea in terms of NMT. Okay, number 5. Knockout is G, actually. To eliminate. Eliminate is like виключити. So, when we have somebody eliminated, like from the game, like виключити когось з гри, or basically, like вимкнути, that would be to knock out. Нокаутувати. That's why we have knockout in Ukrainian, because that's knock out. Now you know. Okay, number 6, miss out. So what is miss out? Okay, you say it's E. Fail to take part? Yes, that would be something like пропустити. For example, I had to miss out the match because I was ill all the week. So I had to miss it out. Number 7, play away. Very interesting one. Play away. Yeah, that's I. So, it's like грати в гостях або грати на виїзді. So, when you take part in competition, not at your stadium, but at your opponent's stadium. Put off. So, that is D. Відкласти. Yeah, so postpone or put off відкласти, like I'll do it later. And take up, as we already know from the use of English task. So when we take something up, we start doing it, like спробувати, почати, especially about sports or some new activities. So you can take up a new hobby, which could be anything like dancing, painting, whatsoever. But also it could be new sports. Okay, good job there. So, time to move on, and here you have to decide which of the phrasal verbs is better to use in this particular context. So, number 1. Because of the adverse weather, the field events will be something till tomorrow. As you can guess, it should be some bad weather. So, what would happen with the games? Yeah, it would be put off, like відкладена, till tomorrow. Number 2, my friend and I have decided to Zumba. It looks fun and it will help us get into shape. So it's not D in number 1 because call off it's відмінити, but we cannot відмінити till tomorrow. So it's like call off forever, but put off till tomorrow. Відкласти до завтра. So when we give it a second chance, it's put off. Number 2, yeah, it's actually B, take up. So go in for Zumba, it's like займатися цим постійно, but if it's something new, like you've decided to take up, like спробувати, to give it a try. Yeah, to take up a new hobby. Exactly. Number 3, I'm afraid you have to something on the final. You aren't strong enough after your injury. So number 3, be careful. Yeah, it's A, miss out on the final, like пропустити фінал. Because B, knock out, is like вирубити когось. Not sure that's the option. So miss out, yeah, like to skip it. Number 4, a friendly basketball match between our school. You can do what? So number 4, I already see the answer. Yeah, that is count me in. Like врахувати імена, додати імена. Okay, number 5, the cycling race was because there wasn't enough interest in it. So what happened to the cycling race? Number 5, okay, that is D, called off. So here that is скасовані, відмінені повністю. Okay, and number 6, our team this week, so we have to travel to Manchester for the match. So number 6, yes, that is B, is playing away. Like грає не вдома, грає в гостях. Okay, good job here. So you've done it very well. And now let's see how we can use it in terms of use of English. So here I've tried to put different words, all sports related, but not in one context. And you try to guess what to use where. So number 1, just read the ads and try to guess which words should be used there. We will try to do the reading task soon because I'm about to finish this part. Like that's the last slide before reading. And I think it will take us not more than 10 minutes, really. It's just one task. So here, what's number 1? Local what? Snow slopes. Should I help you with it? Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, like indoor snow slopes, like сніжні схили всередині приміщення, right? But sometimes it happens, especially when there are specific places to train the sportsman. And number 2, join us for the largest students snow sports event, like winter sports, snow sports event in the world. Yeah, good. Okay, the third gap. We provide all equipment for the beginners. Ropes are made of high-quality nylon and conform with UK safety. UK safety what? Requirements. Yeah, вимоги безпеки Великої Британії. Okay. And number 4. Classes are fun and offer a powerful something. So number 4, powerful. Workout. Yeah, like потужні тренування. And you don't need a partner or any special equipment. Ніякого особливого спорядження. Okay, very good. So, now as I promised, we're gonna have some reading task. So here, again, we have those ads that you looked at, and now you try to guess which of the sports activities these are. So, number 1, come and try an exciting new sport. What is that? So number 1 is G, that is climbing for sure. Number 2, we are looking for new members. You already paid attention to some words, so you know for sure. Number 2 is B, skiing, of course. Number 3, we run classes. So what is that? It's E, dance classes, good. Number 4, we didn't have it, but now it's easier for you to match. So number 4. Okay, letter C, football. So yeah, we have 2 sessions on the pitch, на полі, and we remember that there is a football pitch, right? And a top scorer, like the person who can score goals. Good. And number 5 left, so what is that? Take up a new sport and get fit in January. What sport is that? Or maybe not a sport? Number 5 is A, so that's gym, because a range of exercise classes and also jacuzzi and spa. Well done. So now, as I promised, we will focus on reading. So we will do like a few tasks, but if we have time, maybe we'll finish with all of it. So for that, first of all, we'll look through the questions, but not the options first. After that, you read the text until you spot the sentence which you feel that answers the question. After that, you look at the question again, and then, only then, you check the options and cross out the ones that are completely odd, абсолютно зайві. Then, you choose the best option and reread the part of the text to check if it's really the answer. And do not rely on your knowledge. Не покладайтеся на свій багаж знань. Because you need to find the answers in the text. Like, you may know for real what types of animals can do one or another thing, but you need to prove it with the text. And pay attention to paraphrases. When you see the same word in the question and in the answer, probably that's to mislead you, щоб заплутати вас. So we look for some synonyms for another word for the same meaning. Тобто, інакшими словами, ті ж самі значення. And now, keeping all of that in mind, let's try. So here, if you scan the QR code, you will find a big reading, and I will share the questions one by one, just by paragraphs. So the first paragraph and the first question. Typically they correspond. Тобто зазвичай у нас перше питання до першого абзацу, друге питання до другого і так далі. Останнє питання може бути до всього підряд. But it's not the issue. So let's try. Firstly, we read the question. So why did Annalise swim across Lake Ontario? You try to find the answer. Firstly, by reading. Don't look at the options. So we read the question only, and we try to spot the answer. Okay, so 22 goes C. Yes, she needed money to help sick children. And here she decided to raise money, зібрати гроші, for the camp. And the camp was for children with cancer. That's absolutely right. So check the context and only then look at the options. Well done here. Next, please. So nothing about rich and famous, nothing about request of this camp, even though it's mentioned. And she didn't want to become a volunteer. So those are odd. If you are not sure, try to find the proofs. If you don't find them, cross them out. So question 23. What is said about Annalise in paragraph 2? Again, no reading the options. Read the text first. Try to catch the information. So time to finish and look at the options. So try not to choose, but to exclude everything that doesn't look good. Just cross it out. Okay, I can see first answers. So now let's exclude. First of all, wasn't fans. Okay, let's see. So the correct is actually A. And we can see it in the text that it was in Toronto, yeah? And dozens cheered and applauded. So obviously they supported her, yeah? Who are they if not fans if they support her? So in this context, it might be. Then, about others, she was sent to a hospital, but not because of temperature. It's just to check up, for a more thorough checkup, для більш ретельного огляду. But the doctor says she was okay. Then, why not next? She wasn't followed by her parents on that boat. She was accompanied on the boat with her swim coach. Її тренером з плавання. Okay, and the last one. She was treated by this doctor, but not for leg cramps. У неї не було судорог. It just said that she had to fight high waves, cold current, and leg cramps, but she was okay. There were no cramps to help her with. Okay, very good. So we still have one more reading task there, but I'm pretty sure that you can check it later. And now it's time to sum up. So, tell me please, what about goalkeepers? Do they score goals, yes or no, in the comments? So, do goalkeepers have to score goals? Yes or no? Of course not. So they need to protect their gate or their goal. Okay. To fit and keep fit, are they the same? Yeah, they keep goals, exactly. So, no, they are different. To fit is like підходити. So choose the option that fits. And to keep fit, it's підтримувати себе в формі. Good. Number 3. Can you use both go and play with golf? So number 3. Yeah, thank you for the explanation. So number 3, yeah, we can play golf if we compete with another person, but we can go golfing if we do it just for pleasure. Okay, number 4, do you win when you are knocked out? So number 4, do you win when you are knocked out? Or is not. If we knock out the opponent, then we win. But when we are knocked out, коли нас вирубили, passive voice, probably it's not. And number 5, in reading, should you always start with reading the text? No. So we start by reading the question, but not options, then the text, and only after we read the options trying to compare. So I hope that was helpful today. When you do a real NMT, again, try looking only at the paragraph that you need. Like, do not let your eyes run in between all the lines. Focus on the paragraph. only on one paragraph and try to find the answer for that question on your own. That would be super helpful, and I hope you will do that. Okay, so that's all for now. There is one more reading activity left there, so you can check it in PowerPoints later on, but for now that's it from me. So as always, if any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Thank you for participating, thank you for being active, and see you next week. Goodbye.